We've all had stock that didn't sell. And the reality is that 99% of brands launching today will fail. No clear brand identity, poor product market fit, weak differentiation, inconsistent branding, poor quality, price misalignment, lack of marketing strategy, no customer retention plan, cash flow mismanagement, burnout, and lack of long-term vision. But what if I told you that there's a new framework that some of the biggest brands today are using that's allowing them to capture market share from some of the biggest businesses that have had a legacy in the industry? They're now being turned upside down, and these brands aren't only taking their market, but they're positioning themselves to be the leader in the space in the next few years. And my goal for you is to rethink the way that you're launching a brand, because I'm gonna be sharing this exact framework as well as examples that you need to know about in order for you to replicate it and be able to have success in your entrepreneurial journey, whether it's your first clothing brand or your next product business. Before we dive into that, I believe it's important to understand how traditional business functioned before 2025. I'd know as I started my first company 15 years ago out of college. You see, traditional business schools to this day are still advising you to create a market research plan and then a go-to-market strategy. But what if I told you that some of the biggest brands today threw that business model out the window and instead are focusing on one thing, one important thing called attention. Attention today is a new gold rush, and in a few years, it'll be a lot like owning real estate. Examples of brands that are currently running this strategy include the obvious like Mr. Beast, Prime Energy, but even some that are not so obvious, like up-and-coming designer Ass Pizza and even 50 Cent. So what exactly is this framework? Well, let's break it down. It begins by understanding that people want to do business with real people. And although we live in a digital world today, every one of us wants a connection to the people that we follow or see online. So your goal as a brand owner is to be able to build and foster that connection in order for you to build a brand around it that somebody would want to buy. But how do you build a connection that's ready for you to sell products to? Well, I call this framework the Shockwave Influencing 2.0. Now, a niche audience here is the people that are going to connect with it at first. And from that, it's then going to resonate with an audience that has somewhat of an interest in it, that may be involved with it in the near future. And then the outer circle is going to be the people that are essentially out of the circle and out of the interest, but they find it relatable in some way. So your ultimate goal in Shockwave Influencing is to be able to appeal to outside of the niche, but never forgetting the importance of targeting your niche and really fostering that community, because they're going to be the backbones and early supporters. Now, in order for you to adapt this to your own strategy, it begins by understanding your unique interest, your story, and what you bring to the table. Now, a current example of this is Mr. Beast. It's a very obvious one. He has Feastables chocolate, he's got different apps and services, and even shows on TV. But he's an outlier in this, meaning that he is today's Walt Disney. He's building something that's incredible. He's driven in a certain way that is unparalleled and unmatched. But in order for us to illustrate this properly, I believe it's only right for us to really dive into it with somebody's story that's a little bit more relatable. And that's the man 50 Cent. 50 Cent started his career as an entrepreneur that was willing to learn and grow with the times. He appealed to a very niche audience when he started, but he was able to expand the scope of those interested in the general rap game across North America, which allowed him to gain a bigger audience and open up a lot of opportunities. He was able to license the G-Unit name to include apparel, shoes, watches, and much more. He was then brought on to help market and promote other companies, one of which was Vitamin Water, where he made a power move to earn an equity stake in the brand instead of getting paid for the endorsement. When Coca-Cola bought it, his stake was worth over $100 million. And more recently, he's gone on to grow with his initial audience that saw his rise in the early 2000s through his new TV show called Power. Through Power, he showed that he isn't just a rapper and isn't just an entrepreneur, but he's a true creative that really follows his audience and evolves with them. So in summary, Shockwave Influences means that you need to build a content strategy that will attract a real audience, understanding your niche and where you can compete. From that, you need to understand your actual audience's needs, their wants and desires, in order for you to build a community of people that truly understand your mission and your cause. You then need to capture the information outside of just social media, whether that be an email or a phone number. Gathering that real information allows you to maintain contact regardless of where you go. And based on the data that you have from creating content and building that real relationship, you then seed product ideas and samples to your most engaged followers. You can easily do this with a design and marketing tool such as Kittl, which allows you to design professional graphics easily. Whether you're an experienced designer or you're new to the game, they give you the ability to edit with AI or by using some of the graphic templates that you can easily customize to your audience, which is why it's so important to hone in on your niche, since the library of templates that they have can be for almost any kind of customer. And if you prefer not to design your own graphics, it's definitely your go-to platform for creating your marketing materials to promote your brand. You see, in a recent example, we took this dropship product and we created a full brand presence using Kittl's AI smartboard features. From coming up with the image ideas to generating lifelike photography, it absolutely blew my mind. Kittl's empowering brands of any size to launch and iterate on product ideas quickly. And if you're watching this in November of 2025, there's a special Black Friday promotion happening from November 24th to December 2nd, where new and existing users get 25% off for a full year of Kittl Pro or Expert. So make sure you use the discount BF2025 at checkout to get this deal, because once your die-hard community members approve of the direction, you can launch it as a pre-sale on your site. And once the sales come in by proving you can market them, you then start making the products. And to create the products, you can run it with print on demand by using a platform such as Printful or Printify. And to bulk manufacture it, you can go with a stateside supplier or choose an overseas one. Now the biggest difference will be in the turnaround time, because in the US, you could turn it around in about 2 weeks, while overseas, it can be 3 months or more. After you deliver that initial batch, you get feedback from your customers. You then refine and launch your collection officially with better marketing and messaging. And lastly, you double down on the content that brought that audience and that customer in order for you to start to grow, and you repeat this process. By running this strategy, it reduces your chances of having to burn money on inventory without it selling, but more importantly, it allows you to really build out and foster a brand and community that regardless of whether the first product does well or not, you're able to continue to inject new ideas and concepts until you find one that works. Because the reality is, everybody has a failed business. It's not about avoiding failure. It's really about leaning into it, but learning from your mistakes and ultimately growing from them. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and leave a comment with a topic or maybe a conversation I should expand on from this video. And if you currently have a brand or a following and maybe you're looking for ways to monetize the following or really build out your brand through a content strategy, then I encourage that you check out the Viral Brand Accelerator program that's going to be linked in the description down below. We work with you one-on-one over the course of 12 months, so it's limited to the number of people we can accept into the program because I'm personally working with you. So if you're interested in learning more, just check it out, apply, and we'll see if you're a good fit. Because this program really is for those that are building their brand, that are actively building their following or already have sales coming in. We just help you light the fire that you need to take it to that next level, which includes things like really creating the product design, finding the best product market fit, analyzing your content, and really building the logistics and operations of the business so you can focus on doing what you love. More information is going to be linked down below. So right now, if you're watching and you're like, yo, I really want to dive into more marketing and design content, well, I actually have an incredible video right here that you should check out, and I'll see you then.